Rikers Island.
The Rock? That's what I call it. I go back to the 80s. The Rock!
This is part 2 of the Rikers Island Chronicles with our special guest, Warpath.
Guerra!
Guerra's in the building. Yo, hey, he came dressed to impress. And so this is part 2. If you didn't catch us last week, we got Warpath here early. He's gonna share some stories with us. He's gonna talk about his podcast. He's gonna talk about a possible book deal coming out, movies, you name it. Guerra got it. Welcome back, Papo, and thank you for coming back second time. Really appreciate it. And I want to special thanks to your lady. Thank you for helping us out.
Yes,
Steve, you better get your ass to work, Steve.
No. Steve's about to lose his job.
He thinks that PPP loan is going to last forever, right? So, Warpath, what's up, brother? Last time we left off, we were just getting into it, but you were incarcerated in Rikers Island, which is in New York City. It's probably one of the most notorious or popular jails throughout the states. How was it being incarcerated in that time? I'm making it sound like it's a vacation. It's not a freaking vacation, but you give us your perspective
Like
of how.
Fucking going to Sandals, Jamaica, or something. What the fuck?
It was gonna be like, yeah, I had the all-inclusive package, 2 drinks,
One shank.
No, but go ahead, Papa. Tell us how was it in the 90s?
Ironically, and as sad as it may seem to some people, after a while it becomes like sort of you start feeling or thinking that you are on vacation, because you get accustomed to the situation, your surroundings, what's going on, and it's like it becomes like if you're getting arrested back to back, it becomes like what you gonna do? Lock me up, send me back to where I'm comfortable. What you gonna do? Send me back to where all my peoples is at. It's like a big welcome. Holy snap, Warpath was popping. I'm on del Rey, like all the bros is there. Whatever you rolling with, that's where it's at. And for some people, they didn't even get that in the street. So it's like the people that love me, that show me love, and
it's different.
It's different, right? And they in that building. You feel me? Mm-hmm. So even if when you ride through Brooklyn House or whatever, like that's my people in there. It's like a different feeling when you go through it. I know it may seem childish to some people. If you never experienced it, then it's crazy. It's another world, bro. It's another world.
I don't think it's childish. I just think it's the mentality behind it. It's just this is my situation. This is how I feel. So you don't have another option.
Right, you gotta do it.
Exactly. Either I crawl up in a corner and let's whatever, or this is I'm back home.
Facts.
But War, not to delve too deep into your personal life, but did you grow up with a big family, or there was a small family? What was your situation? Because I could see somebody, if you're getting that love, maybe because there was a void, the family wasn't there, but your friends or your extension or your gang, that's your family. So when you see them, you get that feeling of, I'm welcome. I'm part of something. Was it one of those things for you, or you grew up with a big family and it was just that was your bros?
Nah, I actually always had my family, and like they was always there for me. Like I had a cool pops.
Okay.
They was cool. Like regular upbringing on 44th Street and 4th Avenue, Sunset Park, right? But still, you're looking for something else. I never looked, and it was never brought to me that the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation was a gang. So I didn't grow up in it thinking that it was a gang. I've never in my life looked at it as a gang.
Okay.
Of course, the media and other people that are not involved and know nothing about it, and what you see on the news happening, but they shot 3 people. Yeah, but somebody got smacked, bro, or whatever, right? Like, so, and of course, you got bad apples and everything that make things happen, but I up till today, in 2022, I don't consider what I was involved in a gang, and that's why I always say I never joined a gang, I've never been in a gang, and I'm not in a gang.
Gotcha.
Because it was brought to me as a nation, an upliftment of the people. And when I'm doing the right things in life, like today, I try to carry it for what it is, because even though I may not be involved in every activity, right? And if I was, I wouldn't be saying it here anyway, right, on the radio. But what I'm saying is, it's something that's embedded in my heart, like for life. So I'm always gonna be king, beyond death, and that's just the way I feel. Something that's embedded in me from young is the way I grew up. But yeah, I had my family. My mom's was there, my pops was there. But you look for something else. And it wasn't so much that I needed family or family love, because I always had a girl, or I always had my mom's. Like, she'll be like, I'm not going to go see you in jail, but you'll call you VI and it's your mother. And I'm like, Ma, you can't keep coming up here like that. You heard? Like, your little boy is not regular OB right now from 44th Street. They call him Warpath.
Guerra, mami,
Yeah,
guerra.
guerra in Spanish. So if they see me and they think you looking like my mother, it's gonna be like, this nigga's a mama's boy. You know what I'm saying? So, all jokes aside, though, I had a pretty good life. And shout out to them. My pops passed away. He had his own problems, but alcohol played a role in it, if I'm not mistaken. It may seem like I don't, because I'm having a drink. I don't drink at all, period. In fact, alcohol is the #1 killing drug in the world, and it bothers me because I know what it did to my pop. He wasn't like a bum in the street, but he drank a lot. You know what I'm saying? One of them functional alcoholics.
Yeah.
And he'll work, have businesses, have car, take care of everybody, but he drank hard body. But anyway, Rikers Island is something real crazy, bro, and it's something that stays with you. But it helped me. I don't know if it helped me become a better man, but it showed me a lot of things in life, and I was able to meet a lot of good people during my incarcerations.
Gotcha.
As weird as it may sound. And I think better people than the people that I encounter on the day-to-day basis.
That's crazy that you're saying that, but it's true. You do, like, you know what happens, man? People have all different walks of life. You don't know where your walk is gonna, take you. And just because you go to a prison doesn't make you a bad person. It was a circumstance or a situation that unfortunately escalated and put you where you didn't ultimately want to be. But it doesn't make you a bad person. On the Lockout, right? Not the lockdown, right?
The Lockout.
On the Lockout. Somebody corrected me on YouTube. No, dude, it's not on the lockdown. On the Lockout.
One of my
Yeah.
Lockout.
Yeah,
friends.
it was definitely-
You get stabbed.
Yo, he called me out and said, yo, Papo, no disrespect. No
Shout out to the Lockout gang / Lockout fam. I love y'all. Facts. None of those matters.
So you briefly spoke about it last episode, but I want you to, for the folks that are just jumping on now, what is it about? Tell us what you're doing. What's the podcast about?
Well, basically, on the Lockout is man, it's so special to me, right? But I try to stay away from like the street content and all that, as hard as it may be. But that, we live in a world where negativity sells.
Yes, sir.
And I try to, like, at times I try to do so many positive things, and it's like if you post a positive video, dudes are like, "Man, dude, you wasting my time, boy." You know what I'm saying? I thought you was gonna go in today, and then you want to give the people what they want, right? But at the same time, I try to do everything with a learning experience. Like, look, this is what happened. We put him in the clinica. I told him make a left to the infirmary is that way, right? But this is what I'm doing today, and this is what can happen. So I think, like, to me, it's something beautiful that I started, right? Rikers Island Stories, the movement. Everybody knows the story. We're not showing off. We don't show off. We show up to situations,
Exactly.
right? So when the whole wave started and everybody started doing it, I said, I gotta switch this because it was getting a little too negative, right? And then I try to show people how videos, bro, dudes had a gun in their mouth, ready to blow their head off on parole. The stories on the Lockout. Shout out to him, Yelly Founder.
And these are videos that Cat shared with you?
No, these are things that dudes told me. Yo, your videos saved my life, bro. I had a gun in my mouth, bro.
Wow.
About to blow my head away. And I used to come out and make videos and say, yo, what's poppin' is on the Lockout. If you ever thought about killing yourself, so have I. Don't do it. Right? And Duke was like, when you were saying that, I felt like you was talking to me and the gun was in my mouth. I was ready to blow my head off. And it didn't happen. I met up with him, recorded with him, shared time. We was wilding on 42nd. And he was like, you are a wild boy. You know what I'm saying? I said, you still want to kill yourself? I'll do it for you, boy. Well, we here now. What's up? Are you ready? Do you really want to die? Nah. But these are people from my channel that follow me, and I popped out to meet, like, in real time. I was
That's
doing
nice,
that.
man.
Like, yo, where you at? Boom, and I'll pull up. You know what I'm saying? And I met a lot of good people, bro. And I met people that told me to help out the channel. They was like, yo, bro, here's $5,000, bro. I never gave another man $5,000 in my life.
Wow.
Just seeing me the first time, and it's like, I want to see you do good. Like, and I get it, right? Because some people, and these are people that have never been locked up. But one thing's for sure and two things is for certain, that jail and prison is for no one, right? But it accepts everyone. Mm-hmm. And if you ever need a place to stay, you Rikers Island and Upstate got a bed for you, bro. That's the only place in the world that 24 hours a day, they're gonna accommodate you.
They have vacancies. They have vacancies.
Yeah, they gonna put you somewhere, buddy.
That light is always on. Vacant.
Yeah.
We got beds.
Yeah. So I always tell people, like, look, man, just because you don't do crime and you're not living that life, you exempt. You know,
Yeah.
a Rikers Island prison is like a disease. Anybody could catch it. Respectfully, you can go outside. They could mistaken your identity, get locked up. Anybody. So. You know, I learned never to put those people down. Unfortunately for me, I kept going in and out of Rikers Island. I got accustomed to it. I was living the life of crime. I like the streets. Till today, 2022, I love playing the streets.
Still?
But, yes. Hard body. I love the street, bro. Yeah. The street life. I don't know. It's what I know. It's what I'm comfortable with, right? Even though I do things differently, but I always got to go back real quick. And I think that's a lot of our downfalls, right? And I always got to go back and see the people, and I don't know, it makes me, I don't know, I think it helps me stay young. I think it helps me with my, even if I'm stressed or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But the streets love nobody, and I understand that. So I don't play them. Before I was playing them 24/11. Now it's like 24/5 or 6. Right? So I try to stay away from that because I don't like to be a hypocrite. I don't like to be on my channel telling people how they should work on change. And even though it's about the message, not the messenger, but I don't like to be a hypocrite. Then they see me in the streets chasing somebody down the block or something. And it has happened, ironically, yeah. And a lot of crazy things happen.
But you have turned the negative into a positive.
Of course.
Because your channel, you know, you're on the lockout.
Sure, of course. And yeah, and I feel it myself. As I tell people, somebody says something about, yo, you crying online, you a grown man, whatever the case may be, right? Like, bro, I changed right in front of the world's eyes. And some people seen it and some people didn't, right? And I think it's a beautiful thing, and it's helped me change too.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, you don't want to be a hypocrite. So the same way I help others, I had grown men, 60-some years old, when they met me, hug me, cry, yo, you saved my life. You don't know what you did for me, boo. I seen people hit me up and say, yo, I went into treatment because of you. I seen people hit me and say, I'm a millionaire making 6 figures, started a company because I talk about business and investing in yourself and working for yourself. I started building my own computers. I showed people that they could do that on my other channel, Tech for Rec, TEK, the number 4 and REK.
Say it again.
TEK, the number 4 and REK.
Yes, sir.
And I try to show people there's a lot of things you could do, and don't think because you're home in your house, you should be comfortable and you should feel like you're home, right? So when I'm there, I said, I got to do something. If I'm not going to be playing the street and I'm going to be here, I got to want to be here. Yeah. I got to love this place. If I don't love this place, I'm going to go outside where they show me love. So I need to find the love somewhere here because my wife wasn't giving it to me. Yeah.
Respectfully.
Yeah, respectfully, baby. You know, like, so, you know, so we live in a big, not to show off on them, but we live in a big house, bro.
Nice.
God bless.
And if you look for me in that house, you won't find me, but you find me in that room, in the little room. I guess I'm comfortable being in a cell, in the box.
No, but you're being productive, though.
Yeah, I'm being productive, facts. And that's a beautiful fucking cell.
You know what I mean? You could go in and out whenever you want.
So you know, a lot of things work for me. A lot of things change. Rikers Island, the war, you know, tensions rising, different gangs. It was a crazy experience. The Latin Kings.
That's what I wanted to get into, but I don't want to get too crazy.
No, you could ask me whatever you want, bro.
So during that time, I used to always hear stories. Yo, Rikers Island is like a jungle. There's like always fights. What do you see there? What do you witness? What were you kind of like part of? I mean, you can't go into everything, but what are some of the crazy stories that kind of stand out that you could think of?
All right. So when I get to Rikers Island, as an adolescent, I seen a lot of abuse.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry to interrupt you. You got to Rikers Island. You were already part of the Latin King family.
Listen. I was Latin King, but I wasn't officially crowned the right way as a king.
Okay.
I claimed king on my own. I did like, I don't know if you know the story of Blue Boy, and I said this before on my channel, so it's not like because he did it, I'm saying, because you know the trolls, hello. I said this a long time ago, and those that know the real know the real. So Latin Kings came out of my neighborhood. Somebody gave me the paperwork, my boy Keg. I was a kid. And he was like, yo, boom, here, but I don't know how he got it, but a lot of people was king, but they was like just starting up.
Okay.
Like remember, a lot of people think I was just around the 90s. I was around in the 80s. I may look like a baby.
Wow.
But I was born in the 70s, in the early 70s.
Okay.
So they gave me the paperwork and I was jagging it. Like I'm king.
Okay. So you
know
go.
what I'm
So you go into. You wasn't.
But now I go to
officially
Rikers and I'm not. I'm the first time.
You keeping it to yourself?
I'm keeping it to myself.
Why? Because you didn't want to be called out on anything?
it's numbers.
No. I just because at that time I didn't see beads. I didn't see band. There was no identification.
Got you.
You
So
feel
you-
me?
you didn't
So
know.
you don't want
I
to jump
didn't
out the
know.
window and be like, yo, I'm this.
I just thought this is a thing in our neighborhood.
Gotcha.
Oh, okay, I
gotcha.
got
You
you.
didn't know how big it was.
I didn't know how big it was or
Yeah.
how it was getting. I didn't know the politics of it.
Gotcha.
So when I went to the jail, boom, I started seeing, and I say this with all respect, like people get it twisted, and it may sound cliche, but I say it all the time because of the misconception people get. Like I got blacks in my family. You understand what I'm saying? Like I got Dominican nieces and nephews. There's everything. My wife is from Sudamerica. Like you feel me? So there's not a racial nothing in my body. I don't see color. I see human beings. If you're a good dude, you're a good dude. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit.
No matter where you're from.
Ironically, the majority of thugs and gangsters that thought they were gangsters running around on Rikers Island that time were black.
Gotcha.
Right? And the Spanish people that were coming in were getting enslaved. Right? So the story is the same. As I'm gonna get into that right now, but I always say that in my videos. In order to understand this video, you gotta watch it to the end, because sometimes people hear something and be like, oh, this dude is racist. And you didn't even hear the whole thing. You making judgment and commenting, and then they come back and be like, yo, I apologize, boy. I heard the rest of it.
Yeah, they only hear. They only hear
Yeah,
one part
papi,
of
you
it.
a pepe. You a pepe. You heard? You got loose fingers. You just got a new keyboard and you acting up. So yeah. So I get there. It feels like blacks are controlling everything.
Okay.
It feels that way, right? And I tell the Spanish brother, like, yo, you're not calling now. Yo, don't touch that phone. That, what? And this thing started to bother me, bro. You know what I'm saying? And then I seen, as time went on, I started going there, and I was already getting super thugged out. You become what you detest. The people you don't like, you become that.
So they weren't letting Spanish
Now,
dudes.
Spanish dudes wasn't rocking at all, period, when I was going through in the beginning, in the early 90s, 80s. Maybe a few, you had some that was rocking. I'm not going to lie. Like, some was rocking, but not like a lot. Like when the Kings and Nietas came out, now they rocking. Now they rocking and rolling.
Yeah.
So I said, son, it got to be different, bro. So when they stepped to me with the Almighty Latin King and Queen Nation situation, it must have been like 91, 92. Like, this is a lot of years ago, bro. It's probably, 91, 92, if I'm not mistaken. So anyway, this dude, Black, comes to me. A Puerto Rican dude, Black, though, right? And he's like, yo, my name is King Black. You ever heard about the Latin King Boo? Because I was already a loose cannon in the house by myself.
Okay.
So they watching me. I'm like, why they always keep looking at me? But I didn't know. This public information. You could Google it. The mayor even talked about it. I didn't know that they was observing me. Like to see if I was king material or if I wasn't.
Oh, wow.
That's what they did back then. It was real militant. Not that it's not now, but it was really, really that. So when he stepped to me, boom, boom, whatever, he asked me. Most people, they don't take him they figure, some people feel like, oh, we don't ask people to be king. Like, you got to go to them and be like, but that didn't happen to me. They asked me to be king, bro. You heard? Yeah. So he broke the rules, I guess. Something, but I was asked. All right. So anyway, he asked me, boom. And I was like, well, break it down to me a little more. But I already knew because I had the paperwork. I was playing him, right? To see if he was really that. So I was like, yo, you know what, bro? I'm king anyway. You know what I'm saying? Like, whether I get involved here or whether I'm not, anything that's for my peoples, I'm with. Like, something gotta happen. So they gave me the paperwork again. You know what I'm saying? Like what they thought was the proper, correct paperwork, you heard? Because my mans in them was super ghetto and son, so they probably changed a few words, you know what I'm saying? So they gave me the, you know, the
official.
the official manifesto, bloodline, nothing else, you heard? It's bloodline.
No, well, hold on for a second. So, what is this paperwork saying? Is it like a contract that, hey, you're signing up to be part of this organization?
If you die, it's on you. Nah, it just breaks down on normal shit you find on Google nowadays. A lot of other shit I can't talk
Like
about,
the
but
rules
it breaks
and
down the rules and regulations.
The
What we
creed,
about
the
the
credo.
5 colors, I mean,
Los cinco puntos.
the 5 points, the 3 colors. The flag, the lion, the breakdown, Louis Felipe being the founder, and Collins, 1986, the King's official King Day, which is the 20th, is not the 6th, like everybody, I'm the rey on the 6th. The real day is the 20th, but we took that, like, yo, hold up, that's international, that's us. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah. So, so it breaks down like kind of that, like the whole Louis Felipe, the movement. A lot more, you know. So it was given to me, and and after that, you know, I was one of those that was like, you can't do that. Like, why? Cause my bro is going next. You feel me? So everything was the bro, and that's what I wanted to get at, cause that's when it could be perceived to other people as oppression. Because now what was done to the Spanish people, now they were in control. The nietas are getting crazy big.
Numbers are bigger.
The numbers are super big. The kings run the mess hall. The kings run law library. The kings are everywhere. There's Latin King written all over the place. Like, this is becoming gangland, right? And there's different sets going on. Bad Boys, Gangster Killer Kings. You already know, 180 Jeff. Shout out to June. Almighty Gano, Paul Rilla, and everybody, right? So it gets crazy because people are not focused on the main goal, which is uplifting your people. Shout out to Focus, by the way. So anyway, people start abusing their power, you know, and you may not be wanting to do that. You feel me? But it's like, yo, you can't touch that phone. You telling another inmate that just came in, and he's like, why? There's a king phone. You feel me? There's only 2 phones. And then he goes to grab the other one, and you can't grab that phone like that, pa. Why? That's the nieta phone.
Shit.
You feel me? Yo, so when can I call? When the kings or the nietas tell you to, pa, or they're gonna smack fire out of you. So it seems like, yo, what the monk?
Yeah, they're abusing their power.
So there's a dude, there's people that didn't like that, of course, but then you go touch the other phone. At some places there was 3. It was rare, but and then that started. The Bloods didn't exist in these times when I was coming through. It was 5%ers.
Gotcha.
Okay.
And they were the ones, but they were renegade. 5% is supposed to be an uplift movement for blacks or for anybody, right? Supposedly, but when I was there, they was doing the most dirt. You know what I'm saying? Some of them, they were renegades. So when the blood started coming up, and I'm not saying all of them are like that. I understand what I'm saying. There's good or bad people and everything, even in kingism. You feel me?
Absolutely.
There's a lot of bad people in king. You know, I was one of the, I've done a lot of bad things being a king. You feel me?
Yeah.
But I was my life was in darkness. So when I awake, like now people would think that I would leave that and never talk about that again. And I'm like, bro, I can't do that, because I know what's the right thing to do is now is there somebody that looks at me and be like, that's a real king that works, don't do drugs, takes care of his family, does something to uplift the people in his community. Like, now you're going to tell me that I shouldn't be doing that? Ahora qué? You feel me?
Exactly.
Like you bugging.
Absolutely.
So